Hello, and welcome to Explosion City! Actually, that is not what it's called. It's called Planetary Annihilation, and it is a 2 versus 2 this time. We have Clopse and Cryonicfire in grey over here, spawning right next to each other in this rather dense mechs region here, against Nanolathe and Ghostflux, who have spawned, again, that zoom out, who have spawned in a not too distant region actually, who have spawned right in the mountains. So Clopse is this commander right here, Cryonicfire is going to be this one. Thank you very much. And I still do not know who's the most northern. Well, we're not really sure with those two. They're pretty much identical. However, looking at them, they've gone for sort of one person getting the econ and the other getting the production right now. Getting with some early fabricators with that vehicle factory, while the commander stands idle for a second or so. And Clopse and Cryonicfire going to continue with... Clopse is going to go for the air factory first, while Cryonic is going for a early vehicle. Apologies for the house alarm going on in the distance. That has now stopped, fortunately. Otherwise that would have got rather annoying for you. So both of these... In fact, Clopse going for very early bombers. That is interesting. Definitely going to take out some early fabricators there with this. Fabricators, however, being built meanwhile from Cryonicfire's factory. Looking at the expansion, we'll see all of this expansion here, and maybe they will go to this massive mechs region down here. It's almost like a polka dot planet with mechs right now. And looking at these two commanders again down here on Nanolathe and Ghostflux, continuing with the econ from this commander to the north, and getting another vehicle factory to the south, along with some energy storage. And energy storage at this point is kind of important, actually. I normally would have said that I would steer clear of storage if you can have the econ to support enough. But it looks as though, given the space and given what they're going for in terms of their build orders, it might have actually been a wise decision and going to build some more energy with that commander now while a skitter goes out. But some fabricators being left a little bit idle here, maybe a little bit more in terms of the cooperative sort of teamwork and exploiting of all of these fabricators would really get production going massively for them. However, if we glance back here, we've got two vehicle factories already up, a lot of fabricators out, bombers, hummingbirds, all sorts, and it looks as though Clopse might have sent his original bumblebee out to go and scout around the map, as I cannot actually see it any longer. In fact, it is over here, just sitting idle on this water. It is just going to look around and just... plane flying right now. Get it? Plane flying. Oh, never mind. Instead of plane sailing. But it's not a naval city, and now it is city ship, and now it's going to come up here and see the spawn point. It's going to see it is very close, and it is going to get taken out by that ant. A beautiful one-shot kill from that ant. Could have said headshot there, but we know it's an ant. We know ants can't carry guns. But tanks can, when tanks can be named after ants. Anyway, I'm talking rubbish. So I'm going to get back to the game now. We have 3 vehicle factories, one air factory with 2 hummingbirds on a patrol, one sitting idle here while another bumblebee is produced. And now they know where the spawn is, they can be pretty sure that when they send a bumblebee over, they will find some form of fabricator that they can snipe and reduce the production of. So Clopse is going to continue building the energy right now, and it looks as though Cryonicfire is going to leg it down here, maybe build another factory in this spot right here. Indeed he will. That's going to be their 6th vehicle factory. A skitter going to come in from Nanolathe and Ghostflux on Team Blue, and that bumblebee is going to completely take it out before it can do any more damage. And they're going to think, oh wow, that's a bumblebee. I don't want to be stung by that thing. And Clopse and Cryonicfire have already started expanding to this metal region over here, and if they can capture all of this, their economy is going to be absolutely phenomenal, and they will really want to capitalize on this and build as many factories as they can in lieu of that. So, however, meanwhile we see that Team Blue is working on a lot of factories right now. They have a bot factory, 4 vehicle factories, and an air factory going up, probably wanting to get some anti-air because they've seen those bumblebees flying around. They've now seen 2 of them, one in the base and one that came over that got sniped. And moving out with one commander to dangerously close now But he is going to get some static defences. Maybe he wants to bring up a fabricator to get some walls to protect these static defences. That is incredibly close now. But that commander is able to defend himself against 4 ants. However, looking at Team White, they are going to get a lot more ants very quickly. As soon as they get their production value. Clopse just going to continue to build energy up here with the commander. Probably got a huge queue with energy, just going to fill this whole region with energy. And even more metal over here. What is this spawn imbalance right now? I call spawn imbalance there. That's gross. Looking at Team Blue, they have just a metal site here and the one they spawned in. But other than that, they really do want to get out and fight over this one. They really want to stop Team White's expansion there, because if they can do that, they will completely hamper their econ. Even though Team White can expand up north and further west, but denying this will be one step on the way to that. And Clopse just wants to make sure, because we do have a little bit of wall spamming going on here, while these ants are easily capable of poking through that, because only one laser turret is completed and those ants are out of its range. They've got a pelter there going to take those down pretty quickly, and they've got another pelter defense building up here from Team Blue, but these ants are going to take down these walls from a distance, completely safe, and as soon as those go down, so will the laser turret, so they will want to get some defenses up back here. It looks as though the economy might have been having a little bit of trouble actually on Team Blue, because that commander building that energy should be going up a little bit quicker than that, just a little bit. So we'll just have to see, but that fabricator is building that mechs pretty darn quick. If only they had another fabricator assisting that. I don't think it matters too much now about those walls. And in fact, we have pelters sniping hummingbirds from over the mountains. That's not something you see every day. Artillery hitting planes on a strategy game like this. Bumblebee's going to fly around the side, going to try and do a little bit of damage. Indeed, that pelter goes down. Bumblebee's going to run over the base, taking out some, well, attempting to, but actually getting taken out by some hummingbirds themselves. Might have been wise to slow them down and take out all of those fabricators right there, but now they have Bumblebee trouble of their own as one moves in, and in fact, no, they miss that pass, and both Bumblebees go down with 0 losses from Team Blue there. And now we also see another vehicle factory going up, so quite a few vehicle factories now from Team Blue, quite a few ants as well, and if they can get all of these ants together and really start ramping out that production, they might be able to push down and make a dent into this metal site down here. But it looks as though from Team White's perspective, they have got a hugely robust economy right now. They have so many mech sites in comparison. I think their mech sites alone might possibly outnumber the buildings inside of Team Blue's base that aren't mech sites themselves. And I think when you get to a situation like that, there's going to be a little bit of problem in your economy, or at least as far as balancing and comparison to the other team is concerned. So far the advantage goes squarely into Team White's ballpark right now. With a large group of ants here, a couple of commanders sitting idle however, and some anti-air going up around the base, which is going to be good against any future potential Bumblebee runs. And in fact here we have a scout sitting over a mountain, just laying there, getting constant vision intel on all of this mech site here. Pretty clever placement of that scout, and indeed they're going to see that and he's going to move it away before it gets killed. He wants to be able to use it. He's seen that they're building on that, so he's now just going to go and occupy these mech sites now until they might expand up there, at which point he will get that vision intel from that scout and will be able to go and destroy that. No questions asked there. However, we now see a tier 2 vehicle factory going up from Team Blue. In the meantime, however, we also see a group of 6 ants moving up the rear, going to take out some of this mech's expansion now, because that scouting intel was there. So these ants are going to do a little bit of damage to this. The commander is right there, though both of them are in fact, so they'll come down and deny that pretty rapidly. I shouldn't wonder. And these ants are going to move up and press in there right now. Indeed they do. Here they come. Doing a lot of damage to these metal now. But there are the spinners there. They don't do a huge amount of damage to ants, but when you got that many shooting that rapidly, when the ants are focusing down on the mechs, you might just about do maybe 2-3 kills. They've got their 2. Are they going to get the 3rd? I'm not sure they are. It's going to be close. Are they going to get the 3rd kill? Yes, they do. They just about pull off a 3rd kill. Might be time to divert a commander, but the ants don't want to push in a little bit too far because there are the ants over here as well. So maybe cutting losses and pulling out. But Team Blue, what is Team Blue doing? They should be moving these ants over to defend. And while those ants are distracting them at this side, we've got a huge number pushing in from this side as well now from the west. We do have a few defences up, not really anywhere near enough. Really, if I'm honest. I mean, we do have pelters shooting at each other across this no man's land that the ants now occupy from Team White, but that is a large number in comparison. And bumblebees ahoy, taking out some of that anti-air, taking out the pelter in fact, and the ants now going to try and do as much damage as they can to this blob. Team White really pressing in now. No walls here to protect these laser turrets. I think they might have mistaken Gentleman's Rules as no walls at all, especially after the earlier wall spam. I think that was a bad decision there not to get that defense if they were going to at all. And these ants are now just going to sweep their way through this econ field. They're going to get a little bit surrounded by these other ants now, coming down from the north and across from the east. And indeed they all go. What will definitely be wise right now is for Team Blue to get a small task force of ants and really run around this mech site and cause a lot of problems for Team White. But Team White has really just expanded. They haven't even bothered to defend these mech sites, which is how sure they are that Team Blue is turtling. But Team Blue has a lot of bombers that just did a lot of damage to that front line right there. Both pelters going down. I'm not sure if there was a 3rd one being produced, but they're just going to continue to run around doing a lot of damage inside Team White's base. They are now going to get taken out, however. But in the meantime, in the back of Team White's base, we have some levelers being produced from these 2 tier 2 vehicle factories. The commander's still sitting on the front lines from Team White, however, so he's going to get those defences pretty soon. A lot of static defences all around the other flanks from Team Blue. However, it would probably really be wise, as I say, to go out and do some harassment, because Team Blue at this point don't really have any vision intel on all of these mech sites right here, and Team White has pretty much occupied the rest of the map in terms of metal sites. Won't be too long until they expand so far around that it'll be sort of white planet with a blue blob in it. But a lot of scouts just scouting around now, doing a little bit of damage. I'm not sure if they're going to just go Firefly spam and try and do as much damage as they can. It might be the case, like in my earlier video, though the only problem with that is it really slows down. Slows down the game. I'm just going to try and enforce Gentleman's Rules here. And the ants moving in now with the support of the Fireflies. I'm not really sure what the Fireflies are doing here. A lot of spinners moving out. They are not going to do much damage against ground units right now. A few bumblebees going to come in and do a little bit of damage now. But is it going to be enough? I do not think so. It appears as though this is the only offensive being made into the base right now, and there are enough ants to counter it. And bumblebees making a second pass, starting to really dent that push. But it is... Excuse me, it is going to take out some of that energy now. Those ants are going to protect that pass. Looking again at Team White, they now have 4, 5, 6 tier 2 vehicle factories. That is a large amount of tier 2 vehicle factories, and all they need to do is send some levelers out up and around the north, and they can just waltz in from the north in this northern flank right here. There is no defense whatsoever other than the standing army that is in the turtle of a base that is blue team. Looking again at the mech site expansion, they're getting a lot of just so much free resource and free reign over all of the resources over the rest of the planet is Team White, and this can be reflected in their 6 tier 2 factories that are going up simultaneously. And we also see a catapult. That is going to really hamper Team Blue's defenses on this pass right now. But looking at these unit numbers right now, if Team Blue can press out and down and around right now into this resource bay. They might be able to do a significant amount of damage, but there are a lot of Fireflies just being a right pain right now. That spinner not getting the firing angle. He actually is just pounding straight into that mountain. I wonder how long it's going to take him to actually shoot through that mountain and do some damage to those Fireflies. But at present it is not getting hit, and indeed we do see the confrontation here. They're going to walk into the walls with the turrets, and they are going to get completely obliterated there. Levelers coming in, catapults completed, completely surrounded. That army was toast from the moment it set foot. And here comes the catapult now, going to really start doing damage to the econ and the factories all around this region now. Team Blue really getting on the run, and here we see the levelers pushing in from the northern flank. Bombers trying desperately to take them out, but there's the two commanders caught out there in the open. Two levelers isn't enough to damage them though. Well, it's enough to damage them, but nowhere near enough to kill them. Bombers trying to come in on a huge pass now. Hummingbirds desperately trying to protect them, but we see the levelers snaking in from the north, and I don't think Team Blue is actually going to have the power to defend against this. They've got catapults and ants on their western fronts, and they've got nothing on their eastern or southern fronts, and they've got a bunch of levelers coming in from their northern flank. So I think we might see Team Blue's demise right here, right now. Especially if White can keep ownership over the skies and the rest of the map for that fact. Team Blue only beginning now to expand out here to some tier 2 metal, but is it a little bit too late? I think it is. Looking down here now, going into dynamic camera view again. We've got a lot of max damage, not enough bumblebees to really tear down these levelers in enough time before all of these mechs go down. Commander desperately going to try and defend. Leveler's just going to try and walk against him now. The commander going to try and take out this hummingbird. He's not going to shoot it. He's going to look up at it, and he's going to go, nah, I couldn't hurt you. You're not doing any harm other than providing vision intel. But we have a lot of levelers now just tearing through Blue Base. Blue Base is toast and gone. Looking back over here, we've got the ants zooming in with all levelers with support from the catapult. Here it comes, and it's going to try and hit that wreckage there. Getting a little bit glitched out because it's sort of thinking, where did my target go? I'm just going to pogo stick on the floor. But this is definitely the end for Blue, I believe, right here. Right now, just going to zoom out a little bit more so we get a little bit more of a perspective of the battlefield now. And these armies are going to sync up and really pound through Team Blue's base. The commanders, I'm not really sure where the commanders are right now. It might be wise for them to run away. Indeed they are. One trying desperately to get to the south. I'm not sure where the other one is. Indeed, here he is. He's going over to the east. He's going to get caught up with 4 levelers. He's going to say, that's it for me. Nothing more I can do there. And down he goes without a fight. Boom in the distance. And while that explosion can just about be seen from this commander's perspective, it's now a case of run away. But the Firefly continuing to get vision intel as ants and levelers begin to perch themselves on the horizon. Commander desperately trying to submerge himself in the sea here. But it's simply a matter of time now. In he goes. And that was the last we ever saw of Blue's commander. So, looking back into strategic view, what have we got? We've got white, 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 and more white, as we just see these icons just everywhere on this planet. We do have a few fabricators sitting here idle, gradually getting those metal, but for what purpose? Commander now building a naval factory while Fireflies continue to deal damage to him. Is he going to actually finish building this naval factory? Yes, he is, eventually. But now it's a case of just sitting and waiting to be killed, I think. So, while the ants and levelers look on from the beach, knowing, well, we can't really do all that much. We'll just sit here, watch and do not a lot. Might be wise for Team White now to come over here and get their own naval factory and just say, hey, anything you can do, we can do better. But unfortunately that doesn't look as though it is going to be the case, and Blue is going to get a anti-air boat right here. And now the bombers, bumblebees, are starting to do damage to this commander. There we go, torpedoes ahoy. Commander realizing he's in a little bit of a pickle. When I say a little, I mean just a little bit more than a little bit more than a little bit. In other words, a huge pickle. Because he cannot do anything! This naval factory is going to produce this. I'm not quite sure why Team Blue isn't taking it out. But I think what I might do is call it here until the actual inevitable demise, because now the naval factory is being targeted from all of these bombers, and there it goes. And it's simply a case of watching and waiting. So I'm going to look from the perspective of these vehicles, who are now going to try and charge in. However, they're afraid of water, they are hydrophobic, they do not want to go anywhere near it. They're going to sit there, and the commander's going to desperately try and build another naval factory. It's not going to work, bombers are going to take him out. There he goes, lots of planes falling from the sky. And a nuclear explosion in the ocean is going to kill off a lot of marine life. Very inconsiderate. Regardless, great play from Team White there, really expanding to all the resources they could, while Team Blue turtled up a little bit too much, possibly. And White really utilising that extra production really well. All of these air factories, all of these tier 2 vehicle factories, just a huge amount of stuff. We see the GG from Team White. That's beautiful. I leave you with news that good game was written in energy generators. Beautiful. Lovely trolling there. Anyway, thanks again for watching another Planetary Annihilation cast, this time a 2v2. More on the way. Don't forget to drop a like or even a comment, and also subscribe, because there are some special videos coming up that you as a subscriber do want to be interested in and do want to take part in, because you could be getting some pretty decent stuff. So anyways, make sure you stick around for those and some more Planetary Annihilation stuff and those special videos coming to you very, very soon indeed. Thanks again for watching, and as ever, have a good day.